Welcome back to the Us versus Them channel. I'm your host Vince, and we're going to break down Farid Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. Right now, Basharat is sitting at a minus 430 favorite, and Gutierrez is sitting at a plus 300. I'm going to say it right now. I do think that line's a little pricey for Basharat. Both these guys are obviously kind of decision merchants. You can look on Tapology and see that. But I've broke down some of their film too, and the way that they fight is definitely more of a decision merchant style. They just riddle with decisions. I fully expect this fight to go to decision here, just because when two decision merchants are going to go fight, that's typically how it goes. So Basharat, his striking is pretty solid for somebody that only has one KO in his professional career. He moves his feet really well. He's got really slick footwork. He mixes in kicks really nicely. I really appreciate how he always is working from top to bottom with his kicks. And it's not usually, it's all different types of kicks too. I don't know all the fucking names because I didn't grow up doing that shit. But, he has a diverse kicking arsenal for sure. Gutierrez, his striking style is a little bit different for sure. He likes to a lot of leg kicks. He does his best work behind his jab. He pumps the jab out there. But he tends to strike one strike at a time or one or two at a time. He's not really looking to extend combinations. But Basharat's not either, to be honest with you. He's not really looking to extend combinations. He's looking to set up his wrestling game and get guys to the ground. And I believe that's where we're going to see the biggest difference here. We have seen in the past where Gutierrez has been taken down and controlled on the top, on the bottom position. We saw that in the Song Yadong fight. Yadong probably had close to 10 minutes of control time, I would imagine. And he didn't even try any takedowns until like the second round. So, that was a 5-round fight. That's why he had so much. But still, every time he was taken down, he wasn't really working intelligently to get back to his feet. And that's definitely concerning with a guy who's getting ready to fight Farid Basharat, who is pretty good at taking guys down. He's taken everybody down he's fought in the UFC so far. He's got really good downward pressure. I wrote down that he's kind of like a blanket on top. He's just covering everything, I really like his shoulder pressure on the top. He kind of turns a little bit one way and puts that shoulder right square in the chin of his opponent or in his throat if he can. And, that's really uncomfortable, but it's also something that controls the position. If you can control a guy's head or his hips, one of those two things, you're able to do a lot of control on top. So he does that, with that shoulder pressure, and he's always looking to advance position. That's something that's really nice about him. He's, like I said, become a decision merchant in the UFC, and that's kind of unfortunate to see because he's got high potential as far as his ability to win big fights. And I think this is the fight that's going to get him on track to start knocking on the door of ranked opposition and, get him into a position where he's one or two fights away from a title eliminator fight. So I think he's probably got a little bit more riding on the line. We've already seen Chris Gutierrez have that opportunity with Song Yadong, and, he just didn't fight in that fight to win the fight, to be honest with you. Another thing that's, I think, going to help Basharat in this fight is his cardio. Chris Gutierrez comes in shape every fight. It's not like he's coming in, he's going to be, but he does tend to fight a slower paced fight, and Basharat tends to fight a more grueling pace for sure, because he's looking to grapple early and often. He's not really looking to give his opponent any breaks, whether that is the striking or the grappling. So I think his pacing is definitely going to help him in this fight. We've seen in the past, like the Taylor Lopoulos fight, he was relentless with trying to get takedowns against Taylor Lopoulos, who's had a pretty good showing in his second stint in the UFC. But in that fight, like I said, Basharat was just relentless with the takedowns. I think Lopoulos stuffed every single takedown in the first round up until the last 10 seconds. And then in round 2, it was like at the 50-second mark. And then in round 3, it was at like the minute 40 mark or something, approximately. So he was getting the takedowns earlier and earlier in the rounds because he just couldn't keep up with the pace of Basharat. And I think that's going to be a similar experience this fight, but I think he's going to have less resistance to get his takedowns. So for my official prediction, I'm going to go David Basharat by decision. It's kind of a basic pick, but it's also kind of like a slam dunk pick. It's kind of a gimme pick. So it's something that I think we can probably pepper into a parlay. That's all I got for you guys in this breakdown. Stop by for the next fight where we'll be breaking down Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. That's going to be a sick fight. It should be, has the potential to be at least. So stop by for that breakdown. I also see an opportunity for us to make some money on that one, add it to a parlay. So stop by for that one. And that's all I got for you guys. I'm out of here.